Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for tuning into another video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps us grow and carry on with some more videos in the future. But for this video, we're going to go over, which a lot of you have probably heard by now, is Ford and the Mustang. The sales are going down. Out of everybody, Dodge has passed the Mustang in sales now with the Challenger. And a lot of people were kind of freaking out saying this is the end of the Mustang, but there's a few reasons why I think the Mustang's not doing so hot right now, and that's what we're going to go over in this video. Alright, so first off, a lot of people would probably go straight to fuel prices. That's what people that aren't really paying attention might think. You know, fuel prices are going up, muscle cars, they're all thirsty. Of course, they're going to be down in sales. But when you read into it, it's telling us that the Challenger of all things is the one that's passed the Mustang in sales. And between the Hellcat and, you know, all the giant Dodge motors that they got in there, they are much more thirsty than any Mustang is. So that is definitely not one of the reasons why they're not selling. But what I believe is the biggest thing is the new model is coming out. Anybody who's going to be spending as much money on these cars as they cost nowadays, they want the new and best. So knowing that nothing is released as of right now, I know a couple spy shots and videos have been circulating around the internet of the what people say will be the 650. Who knows what Ford will actually call it. But other than that, there's no release dates, there's no actual photos, nothing from Ford. We don't even know if it's for sure going to be a 2023, 2024 model. Nobody really knows. And if you go off of Ford's rep, everybody knows how long the GT500 came to finally be. So if it's anything like that, we're looking at a while before that happens to come out. And like I said, if you're going to be dropping $50,000, $60,000+ on a car, you're going to want the new and best of what it is, not the last kind of ditch effort of the model before. Secondly is everything, and everyone is doing this right now, but the markups. The cars that are able to get to the dealerships are being marked up like crazy. I actually read a thing online today saying that Ford is going to try to crack down on it themselves, mostly for the electric vehicles like your Mach-E, the new Lightning that's coming out. I guess because it's so hard to get, all these dealerships are just going crazy with the markups. And yeah, if you have tons of money and you're willing to spend, you know, an extra $10,000, $15,000+ on a car, go for it. But someone like me or your average person coming out to buy these cars aren't going to want to spend almost as much as another car on top of it to get what they're looking for. And like I said, Ford came out with a thing saying they're going to try to really crunch down on it and get the dealerships to not put such a huge markup on their vehicles, but we will see if that actually comes to be. Thirdly on the list is the age. A lot of these old guys, the old muscle car fanatics, they have done their time, they've got their money in the bank, they're now getting older. Everybody knows when you get older, it's harder to move around, and they are moving to the bigger vehicles, which would be Dodge. You go and sit in a Challenger compared to this car, the Mustang that we're in now, and it's almost double the size. You just feel like you're in a boat, where this is still a smaller muscle, or not really even a muscle car, it's more of a sports car. Whereas the Challenger, easy to get in and out, lots of room, you can fit your family if you need to, friends. If you're getting old and you're trying to squeeze into one of these things, it might be a little more difficult. So if a guy's out there and he's looking for a new toy to pass his time while he's enjoying his retirement, he might not be trying to squeeze into something quite this tight. Whereas, you know, especially with the markups like I just mentioned, you're now getting closer to the dealership prices of Dodge, because they are quite a bit more than the Mustang. And, you know, you spend an extra few bucks, you get the power, you get the space, and they still can go out and enjoy themselves. Whereas Ford is keeping, I'm not complaining, but keeping their tight sports car look, and it's just not doing it for the old guys. And that brings us to the next thing on the list, is the younger kids. Younger kids who want these cars now, especially, you know, maybe you're just out of school. A lot of them go for the EcoBoost. Pricing is not too crazy, but if you do start to get up to the 5-liter, obviously the GT350 is gone, but if you're going Mach 1 or you're going GT500, plus the markups, again, these cars are getting pretty pricey, especially for a young kid who might be looking for his first sports car. Possibly getting a used one, but those are all pretty nuts right now as well. But getting a used car might be more beneficial for somebody who's tight on the pockets than getting a brand new one out of the dealership. And obviously you can't get them because of the chip shortage, but younger kids can't get them, older guys don't want them. And then a couple little other factors that might play in as well is obviously the chip shortage. Like I said, even if you want to get these cars, they are a huge pain to get. Yes, you can go and order them, but who knows when they're actually going to be built and delivered to you. So that's a big one. And the last thing is Ford this year has dropped the power a little bit. And now I know people will say, and I agree with this, is the power that they have dropped on the cars, the horsepower numbers, you are 99.9% not going to feel any difference whether you're driving like this one, a 2019 compared to the 2022, where they dropped the performance numbers a bit. You're not going to feel that. Such a small number, you would never know the difference. But like everybody in their cars with bragging rights, you know that the guys like me with the older models are going to have to, we don't care, but we are going to bug you that you got a Mustang that's not quite as powerful as ours. So having said that as well, you look at Dodge and stuff like that, every year they don't necessarily change much. Like you look at the Challenger, it's been the same for years and years, but they add little stuff. They add the wide body on theirs, they add a little bit more horsepower. Even the Hellcat, now they got the red eye, and every year they add just little tweaks, little this, little that. They bump up the power, even, you know, 10, 15 horsepower. That's enough to sell it. Where Ford decided to go the other way around. Some people say for emissions, I say bull on that, because you look at all these other cars pumping out 800 horsepower from the factory. I'm sure 460, whatever version you have out of the factory of Ford, is not going to affect any emissions that they're trying to catch. But having said that, it is a bragging rights thing, and you don't want a car that might have just slightly less power than everybody else. So out of everything going on in the world, and just the amount of different options and different manufacturers and everything you can get nowadays, and pricing wise, and just there's a bunch going on, that's just some of the reasons I think that the Mustang is not selling quite as well. I'm sure once the new model 650 or whatever they call it comes out, the sales will go right back up to where they've always been. It'll pass everybody. Everybody loves a Mustang. Mine's getting older already. Not old, but she's already 2-3 years old, and I still get thumbs up and looks every single day. So I'm sure the new model will be no different. Waiting to see what happens when that comes out. But until then, we'll leave her. This will be it for this video, and hopefully you guys like and subscribe. Let me know if you think any different than me. Drop a comment down below, and we will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody.